Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Good evening and welcome to Flow episode 40. I'm your host, Clem, formerly known as Cam, and welcome to the show. How's everybody doing? I see I already got 37 messages. Unpopular today. Nah, how y'all doing? Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. If you don't have a Valentine, I'll be your secondary Valentine because obviously Jackie's my Valentine today, but I'll be everybody else's Valentine. Cam is goofy and I love it. Goofy. You know, it's funny. There's an entire episode of Atlanta, which is a show by Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. I think he's pretty sure he's part of at least on the fringe of the club. But some of his content that he creates is pretty good. I really enjoyed that show. But they have an entire episode about, I think it was the creator of, I don't know how true it is, but basically the point I'm trying to make is that Goofy was the one black character in the Disney crew. If you go down his rabbit hole of his journey, it kind of makes sense. But anyway, let's see. I just saw Bay Theater Dave said something a second ago. He said, "Be my Valentine, Cam, no homo." That's pretty homo, but I'll be your Valentine in the no homo way, but pretty homo thing to say. Just saying. You watched it? Mystery of Freedom Fighter says, I watched that show. Yeah, that show's awesome, right? I love that show. The only reason I said the thing that I said about him was I watched, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was one of his performances at I think it was the Grammys or something. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm a fan of your music, or I was, but it's a little too satanic for my liking. Yo, Shada Lay. What's up, Evan? Good to see you, brother. Scheisler, I saw your name and I was like, Clem. And then I remembered I just said that. So Scheisler says, Clem, good to see you. Good evening. Happy Heart Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Medbeds, hello, dear. Hello, Medbeds. Claire Cat is here. Good to see you, Claire Cat. She says, good evening and happy Valentine's Day, Badlanders. And that's the perfect way to start. Happy Valentine's Day, Badlanders. Actually, we already got a rant that came in, so let's start off with the rant. So first up, we got Keto Higgins for $1, and he says, since I pulled up on screen, he says, happy Clementine's Day. Yeah, I love that, man. It was funny because I was actually gonna write Clementine or Clem. Actually, I might do it in a second, but good to see you, brother. Thank you so much. And yes, happy Clementine's Day to everybody. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Well, actually, let's get an ad in because even though, by the way, we do not have people tonight, but I am not going to be staying on this whole time because Jackie and I are going to spend time together before the day ends. So I love you guys, but I love her more. So we'll be here a good hour and a half. Maybe I'll go an hour and 40 just so the YouTube crowd gets a full hour in before I switch off. And then I'll switch over for the last bit of the show on only Rumble, X, and Pilled. So, all right. First up, let me share my screen. Oh, no, I don't have to share my screen. I just have to pull up the ad read. First up, we have Benson Honey Farms. Welcome to Benson Honey Farms, where every jar is pure gold. Benson's Honey is excited to be back on Badlands Media with their latest 2025 honey harvest. I laughed because I was like, it's 2026, but obviously the harvest is from 2025, straight from their farm in Nebraska. While they've been busy working to improve our state politics from the ground up, they never forgot the importance of sharing the best honey around. And guys, we're getting to that season now. Spring's coming around. You need to get your honey because the sinuses are going to start running. The pollen's going to start popping out and popping up. Everything's going to be yellow. Did you know honey isn't just a sweet treat? It's nature's medicine. I didn't even read ahead. Perfect for alleviating allergies, soothing upset stomachs, or as a delicious natural sweetener for baking. Benson honey is never heated, ensuring you receive it in its pure, raw form, full of natural goodness. At Benson Honey Farms, quality and purity is top priority, and they're committed to providing the finest honey from hive to home. Join the supportive community and enjoy a special offer. Visit badlandsmedia.tv/honey and use promo code BADLANDS for 15% off your purchase. I said 15. I kind of slurred that, but 15. Benson Honey Farms. Savor the authentic taste of Nebraska and support this America First business. Follow on Facebook at Benson Honey Farms. All right. And thank you so much to Benson Honey Farms. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. I know you guys were going through some stuff. I think it was middle or end of last year, but I hope everything's going well, and we appreciate you. And next up, we have My Shroom Vibes, or My Shroom Vibe.
Hey there, Earthlings. I'm here on the streets of New York to tell you about something that's literally out of this world. You know, traveling between dimensions really takes it out of you, but I've found the perfect solution. My Shroom Vibe can now be your Shroom Vibe. Elevate your frequency. Get microdose capsules, gummies, and chocolate bars at myshroomvibe.com. Use code BADLANDS for 10% off your order. Trust me, galaxy hopping demands balance, and ours comes from Mother Nature. Organic, not synthetic. It's the real deal. Cy Lee, if you know what I mean. Check it out. Your frequency will thank you. Visit myshroomvibe.com. Organic goodness, not synthetic. Use code BADLANDS.
All right. And that is My Shroom Vibes. Yeah, it is My Shroom Vibes. I thought it was My Shroom Vibe. Oh, it's good. It's because in the side here in the media asset, I have My Shroom Vibe written, and it just doesn't have the S on it. But anyway, check out My Shroom Vibe. You can find any and all of our products on badlandsmedia.tv/shop. And it'll have a list of all our sponsors. You can search for stuff. So yeah, make sure you check it out. All right, let's get into some content. First of all, before we get into some content, love you, Jennifer, but absolutely not. One, I'm not going to stay on until 10:30. Not tonight. Maybe next week, but not tonight. And second of all, hell no. Because you know what she would do with that heart of yours? Yeah. Let's just say it will replace your normal steak or whatever you have for dinner on Valentine's Day. Let's just say that. I'm not saying Hillary Clinton eats human flesh. Anyway, so this video, I actually saved it for last week, but we ran out of time. The 1 week alpha or the 2 weeks alpha decides to show up. I had extra stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and play this video. I'm going to play it on 1.5 speed. We all know this stuff. It's from January 31st of this year. It's just a gentleman talking about the Democratic Party and speaking more specifically to the Black community. But whenever I see these videos, whenever I see a certain group of Americans being talked to, I honestly think that it applies to all Americans. We are all one in this country. We have separate like subcultures, I guess you could say, but for the most part, we're one and the same, especially nowadays in the 21st century. I mean, there's people of all races, colors, and creeds that live all over the country, and at this point, it's really just class. But and we're all in the class below these elites. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this video, and actually, Donald Trump posted it on the 5th. So let me share my screen and make sure we're at 1.5 speed. All right, we're good. Okay. So, I got to turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone. I don't know if you guys saw me, but I glitched for a second. All right. So this video, I'm not totally sure who the guy is, but Donald Trump posted it. So I'm just going to let it play.
Democratic Party, I'm going to say it tonight.
Listen closely.
So that you won't be confused, is the anti-Christ party.
Thank you.
It is anti-family.
Thank you.
And I'm going to say this, you're not going to believe it, but it is anti-black folk.
Thank you.
You are only needed for votes.
Thank you.
Only loved when it's time to get your votes. There's no real care about you. And see, we still stuck.
Real quick. One, I hate when people do what that lady does or is doing, like in the corner talking, like, shut up and just let the video play. But anyway, second of all, this applies to the Republican Party too, guys. What he's talking about is specifically a Democrat Party, but remember, this goes for our party too, because they're just using us for votes, because they're just trying to fight the Democrats so that the Uniparty can have whatever person they want at the time. So
and we got that thing ingrained in us that this is the party for the black man. It is not. The party has changed. Black people, really, to be honest with you, have never been the priority. They have only been used. Go back and look at the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We've all given Democrats credit for that, but Johnson was the one that wanted to pass it, but he couldn't get enough Democrat votes to pass it. It was the Republicans that pushed and passed the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Go tonight and look it up. Look at Wiki, W-I-K-I, put it in there, 1960. He couldn't even get enough Democrats to vote for it. So he had to go to Republican senators in order to help him out. They are anti-life. The party pushes stuff that's anti-life. It pushes anti-morality because most of their policies are immoral. That pushes sexual perversion.
Thank you.
It is the party of death. Why do you say that, Pastor? If you go back, you'll see slavery started with the Democratic Party.
Thank you.
And we saw many slaves that died. We also saw under Jim Crow. Jim Crow was established by Democrats. And we saw under Jim Crow how many were hung and lynched. And then we're seeing today how many babies. African-American people are giving up their future because they won't have, in another 15, 20 years, they won't have enough people because they have cut their birth rates off and have aborted their children. This is exactly what the party wants. So it is a party of death when it comes down to it. It is a party that is against black families. Look at the history of the family.
I mean, first of all, I didn't realize he was well, I should have realized that. I didn't remember that he was a pastor, because obviously I saved it last week. But I mean, he's spot on, man. We all know it, but he's spot on. I would argue both parties, like I said, are very similar, but the Democratic Party is the one that is overtly that way. Now that means that we have to be more aware of the Republican Party, because the Democrats are just going to wear their dumbass opinions on their sleeves, whereas the GOP is they're sneaky, man. They're becoming, not becoming, they've been and are continuing to be, but they're branching out. They're becoming the Democrats of old, the like moderate Democrats. Well, they all basically are. I mean, they're all neocons, both sides, except for the Marxists that have basically taken over the Democratic Party. But anyway, the point I wanted to get with that video, and obviously President Trump shared it on his Truth Social, so that was the reason I found it in the first place. But the reason I wanted to bring it up was because, yes, it's Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, but it's all about family, man. It's all about family and your loved ones. And these elites, like who was it? I think it might have been Rebel Nader. But these elites, man, Rebel Nader said it perfectly. Guarantee you they don't see no difference between poor white people and poor black people. It's the same damn thing to them. It has always been that way, in my opinion. I think that the poor white people back before the 60s or in the 60s, the poor white people that hated the poor black people or the black people in general, they were being used the same way that the black people are being used today, man. It's the same damn thing. And the same way we're being used by the GOP to push whatever agenda they want. They know that we want safe and secure borders. They know that we don't want there's a bunch of things we don't want. I don't want to go list them all because I was trying to think of one specifically, but they're using that against us, man. We got to come together, and we're doing it. We're doing it, but just always remember, they're all against us, man. It's one big party, and you ain't in it. George Carlin. All right, so getting off of that, we're going to go to, let's see. I wanted to play that one from last week. Where do I want to start? Oh, okay. So I don't go too much into the geopolitics, but this post was interesting to me, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it from Donald Trump on Truth Social. Let me pull it up first. Hold on, let me take myself off for a second. Okay. So Donald Trump on Truth Social, this was actually on the 12th, so this was 2 days ago. But he said relations between Venezuela and the United States have been, to put it mildly, extraordinary. I thought that was fascinating because extraordinary doesn't always mean good. It just means extremely outside of the ordinary or outside of the ordinary. We are dealing very well with President Delcy Rodriguez and her representatives. Oil is starting to flow, and large amounts of money, unseen for many years, will soon be greatly helping the people of Venezuela. Marco Rubio and all of our representatives are doing a fantastic job, but we speak only for ourselves. That's very important. And I love that because that's something that we've never had before, is us speaking just for ourselves. We're always speaking for other countries and other groups, whatever. No, this is us. And Marco Rubio and all of our representatives are doing a fantastic job, but we speak only for ourselves and don't want there to be any confusion or misrepresentation. There is a story about a man named Harry Sargent III in the Wall Street Journal. He has no authority in any way, shape, or form to act on behalf of the United States of America, nor does anyone else that is not approved by the State Department. Without this approval, no one is authorized to represent our country. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because he's not just talking about this guy, Harry Sargent III. He's making a definitive statement that nor does anyone else that is not approved by the State Department. Without this approval, no one is authorized to represent our country. Plain and simple, man. Remember Obama's shadow presidency? I don't remember Trump saying that during the first one. I know we knew it, but I don't remember him saying that during the first term. So I love that he's making a statement and he's letting people know I speak for us, and the people that I allow to speak for us, nobody else. So thank you, President Trump, for clearing that up for the dummies out there that don't understand it. But yeah, man, I just thought that was fascinating. And then trying to see if because Ghost had a post the other day that I saved on X, and I want to make sure that if it's tied into this, because I'm pretty sure it is tied into this, that I get to it. Yeah, it's just, no, this is not the one. Okay, we're good on that. All right, so yeah, I love it from President Trump, and I'll just leave it at that. I mean, it was a very simple point that I was trying to make, and that's just that nobody speaks for us except for the approved people that speak for us, and President Trump is on top of those things. Now, speaking of speaking for us, this is from Donald Trump 1 day ago. And he's talking about our new, or our not new, it's not new anymore, but our F-22 Raptor fighter jet. It's just a quick video, but I'm gonna play it. Beautiful, beautiful bird. Beautiful bird. Love it. Let me get it set up. Next time I'll do this before I share this screen. American excellence. I'm gonna let it play through one more time. I love this. Power, speed, agility, precision. F-22 Raptor. Pew, 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 pew. All right. So I thought that was pretty cool, obviously. And then let's see. I think the next thing I had was he just posted this without any explanation. Now, if anybody knows which ship this is, let me know. Obviously it's a carrier, aircraft carrier. But here, zoom in on it. I also saved it because I love this reply from Trump's Army at Talk the Street. And I'll just go ahead and click on this one. It says, "One nation under God." And it's got our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or a depiction of him holding onto the American flag. And then the cross, the three crosses, but the main cross right here down at the bottom. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. And this is another day. Every day is a day to remember that He died for our sins and to save our souls from eternal damnation. So the ultimate sacrifice. But back to the ship. If anyone knows what ship that is, I'm assuming that's the George Bush. Says R. Gallimore 1. Good to see you, by the way. Thank you very much. I'm assuming that's the George Bush. Interesting. I wonder, that's an old carrier. Okay. CSUSB Geochem 1. Good to see you, brother. Says that's an old carrier. Gotcha. Yeah, I just thought it was fascinating because I was like, Donald Trump doesn't just do things for no reason. Okay, perfect. So Sir Lord Skywalker says the USS George Washington CVN-73. So as of right now, that's what we know. Actually, I'll go ahead and look it up while you guys are still looking at it. Because I believe you, Sir Lord Skywalker, but I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't double check for the peoples. I'm just doing it on another screen so you guys can look at that beaut. Let's see if we have an image of it. Oh, yeah, that's definitely it. Let me share this tab. That's definitely the ship. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, this one looks pretty much the same. Oh, there we go. This one's almost identical. The picture. Let's see. Open a new tab. Oh my God, that's tiny. Well, anyway, this to this. Yeah, I think it's just slightly turned. Perfect. Awesome. So that's a USS George Washington CVN-73. I personally think that might be some George Washington comms, to be honest. Just saying. Prevost, good to see you, brother. Says USS FAFO. Basically, I mean, the USS George Washington is definitely the USS FAFO. I mean, he was the original FAFO. Polaris Park, they all look the same. Racist. Yep, I am racist against aircraft carriers. They all look the same to me. I don't care about the color of a aircraft carrier. I care about the its merit, what it does, its abilities. I'm trying to find the. Oh, I was going to go back to Truth Social. All right, so back to this, and we got one more post from Truth Social, and then I'll get on over to X. This one's about Bill Maher and more. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but hold on a second. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Donald Trump he wrote a tweet, or he wrote a Truth Social post. And I started reading it and I was like, this is about Bill Maher. And then it just kept going and going and going. So let me get my my reading voice on and get ready to read this whole thing. So this is from Donald J. Trump. Make it a little bit bigger. This is from Donald J. Trump on Truth Social today at 11:23 a.m. And he says, sometimes in life you waste time. Or actually, sometimes in life you waste time. TV host Bill Maher asked to have dinner with me through one of his friends, also a friend of mine, and I agreed. Now, quick side note. We all know that Bill Maher came around and he basically said, where does QAnon go for their apology? We know there's no QAnon, and we know that he's probably he's just trying to get ahead of something, whatever. But I thought it was interesting that Donald Trump brought him up again at this point. So let me get back to the post. Bill Maher, TV host Bill Maher asked to have dinner with me through one of his friends, also a friend of mine, and I agreed. He came into the famed Oval Office much different than I thought he would be. He was extremely nervous, had zero confidence in himself, and to soothe his nerves immediately within seconds, asked for a vodka tonic, in quotes. He said to me, I've never felt like this before. I'm actually scared. In one respect, it was somewhat endearing. Anyway, we had a great dinner. It was quick, easy, and he seemed to be a nice guy. And for his first show after our dinner, he was very respectful about our meeting. But with everything I've done in bringing our country back from oblivion, why wouldn't he be? But then I noticed his show started to devolve. I love that he used the word devolve. Devolve into the same old story. Very boring, anti-Trump, no mention of the perfect border, lowest crime in 125 years, the mass removal of stone cold criminals, the 50,000 Dow, the 7,000 S&P, both highest ever. Least number of murders since 1900. That's crazy. I did not realize that. That also is something that I won't do it on the show, but I'm going to have to look that up. That seems a little unbelievable. Venezuela, quote unquote, midnight hammer. Soleimani dead. Al-Baghdadi dead. Lowest inflation in years. Then in parentheses, 1.2% for the last 3 months. The rebuilding of our military, 8 war stoppages, and on and on and on. In any event, it was a total waste of time for me to have this jerk at the White House. And last night, after explaining what a disaster Canadian leaders, quote unquote, are to deal with, how Canada has ripped off the United States for years on trade, but not anymore, I jokingly stated in a truth. Oh, they're called truths, by the way, guys. Now we know. They're called truths. So instead of truth posts, they're just called truths. I stated in a truth that the first thing China will do is terminate all ice hockey being played in Canada and permanently eliminate the Stanley Cup. Well, he went on and on about the hockey statement. Like, what kind of person, quote, what kind of person would say such a foolish thing as this? As though I were being serious when I said it. I love when Trump does that. He'll say something, people take him seriously, and he's like, are you guys fucking serious? You really thought I was being serious? Come on now. Fortunately, his television ratings are so low that nobody will learn about his various fake news statements about me. He is no different than Kimmel, Fallon, or Colbert, but I must admit, slightly more talented. That's very important, guys. He's a snake. Trump basically just said it. He is no different than Kimmel, Fallon, or Colbert, but I must admit, slightly more talented. That means he's a little bit better at manipulating his audience. Anyway, Bill Maher is a highly overrated lightweight, and Republicans should stop using him to show how the left is coming over our way. I love that. We were talking about it the other day, or last week on OnlyLands. Our base, the greatest of all time, laughs at your weakness when you do it. Maher asked me if he could come back to the White House again, and with his friend, also asked to come to the wonderful White House Christmas party, but he didn't. Regardless, I'd much rather spend my time making America great again than wasting it on him. Bill continues to suffer from a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, and there is nothing that will ever be done to cure him of this very serious disease. Thank you for your attention to this minor matter. President DJT. Guys, I'm going to let that sit there and I'm going to let that breathe for a second. Thoughts. Yes. Deb Perry Jordan. Good to see you, YouTube. Babbage over here. Good to see you. Mike Maza 3749. Good to see you. Jesus Christ, Son of Man. Good to see you. And many, many more. But Deb Perry Jordan said, I love President Trump. Absolutely. So do I. And she also said, please hit the like button. I just remembered that. Yeah, guys, if you don't mind hitting the like button, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Bay Theater Dave, I wonder if Trump dictates his posts. The only reason I don't think he does is because how could an AI on a phone be able to pick up like his unique way of speaking? Just saying. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys, because I know you're on a little bit of a delay. But what do you guys think about this? Let me play some background music. I don't want to get off this topic because I kind of want to talk about a few things that he said about Bill Maher. But again, I will give you guys a little bit of time. Let me start some music up though. Let's see. DC was here. I never trust Bill Maher. Absolutely. There's no way I would trust him. Smay60. Yeah, maybe he speaks into an AI, then to a stenographer. Maybe. Who knows? Thank you, Keith. Excuse me. Thank you, Keith. That's what I was looking for. Trump said minor matter because he knows all Bill's young girls' affairs. Yes, that's what I was getting at. Thank you. You're the winner, bro. That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly, Rebel Nader. There's no coming back from the red shoes. And it's funny because, like I said, we were talking about it last week. We were talking about how this doesn't make Bill Maher a good guy. We all know that, but that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to endure himself. He's trying to get ahead of something. Trump called him out, man. Not only did he say he's more talented, but then he said minor matter. I'm telling you guys, the only thing that he could have done more is put minor in all caps, but that would have been almost too on the nose. That was my point that I was trying to get at. This dude, I'm trying to think of how to choose my words. I believe, in my own humble opinion, this dude is a pedophile, man. Little Kid Lover Productions, come on now. We don't forget, man. We will never forget that. Ooh, very interesting, Smaze. And I noticed that before, but I never really thought about it. Oh, here we go. Harry Ball Wizard said it. Kid Love Productions. Yeah, I thought it was Little Kid, but Kid Love Productions. Yeah, terrifying. Terrifying to know that. Son of Hef, the Ritz says, ? And that's from Smaze said, yeah, and he does look like Hugh Hefner, so groomed for this. Must have made a deal. It's possible. Mima Hunter. Maher is playing a major CYA card. Yep. Oh God. I'll read it because Alpha didn't have the balls to read it. And I'm only reading it because these people are fucking sick, man. These people are sick. And yeah. Keith Higgins says, Cam, do I win baby free beef jerky from Rattlesnake Meats? Yeah, everything in Rattlesnake Meats is actual like animal. Don't go to these other people, man. Just saying. And CKLR, I'm with them or with you. No deals, man. Not for these fuckers. No deals. Grape soda. Keith, you being racist? No, I'm just kidding. It's racist to think that only black people like grape soda. Anyway, so that's all for Truth Social. But yeah, man, I was reading that post and I was like, man, Trump is just going off. And I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't read the end. I read down to like when he started reading off the different accomplishments. I read all of those and I was like, all right, I'm bringing this on my show and I'll read the rest so you guys can see my reaction. But yeah, man, he knows. I believe the only people that are getting off the hook are people that had minor crimes. And by minor, I mean like not election, not anything having to do with harming children, maybe like tax stuff, something like that. As long as it wasn't really screwing over the American people. But the problem is everything these people do is screwing over the American people. So like no deals for anyone, man. And with that, let's go over to X and let's start off with a little laugh. This is let me turn the music off. See? Yeah. Dead Perry Jordan. I like grape soda. Yeah. So I'm not even the biggest fan of grape soda. CKLR says grape drink. That's what made me laugh. I'm more of an orange soda type of guy, but that's because of Kel Mitchell from Kenan and Kel. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Is it true? I do. Ooh. All right. Let's go over to X and the White House posted this video. I do get annoyed of seeing blue-haired whales, but I mean, this video was pretty funny to me. So anyway, let me get the sound ready. So it says it's from yesterday at 5:30 p.m. The White House posted, "Keeping cool while making America hot again. Auto start stop is officially dead." And I asked Zach last night, and I asked Zach and Matt Trump, because I think John was out at the time. But I asked him if it was a big deal because I don't have an auto start stop. I know Jackie does, but what? Oh, never mind. Jackie doesn't have one. So yeah, she has. The reason I say that is because I have a normal key ignition. 05 Toyota Tundra is what I got. So the button. Jackie's talking about rental cars, and she said we've had rental cars that have had it. So I know what she's talking about now, and it literally turns the car off, which is a bunch of bullshit. I don't think anyone should have control over the car. And I love what Matt Trump was talking about yesterday on his awesome long stories. But when he was talking about being able to just get out and drive across the country, like, I'm glad that he kept telling his story because I really didn't want to cut him off, but I had so much to say because my like youth was, we would just go on road trips, man. Like, I remember when we were either in when we were in high school, when we'd have maybe a weekend where we weren't playing soccer or something, we would go visit our friends that were already in college. Like we would just get in the car and just drive. Sometimes it'd just be to Athens, that's short. But like we go to Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Michigan. Michigan was when I was in college, I believe, or after college. But Michigan, we drove up to Michigan. I actually got a speeding ticket on the way back from Michigan and did not pay it. Pay your speeding tickets, guys, especially if they're in another state, because they'll probably end up getting back to you. Because a year later, I got pulled over for not having my lights on. Luckily, I wasn't doing anything other than that, but my license had been suspended for about a year. Didn't know that. So got arrested, had to deal with that. That sucked. It was a simple, I just had to pay off the fine after I got out, but also I had to pay bail and all that stuff. So pay your tickets. But anyway, to the video. I never know if I'm on the right speed. All right, here we go. Why is the end of the video so long? I guess I have the White House thing on there. But anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. I don't care that much about it. Prius. Yes, those cars they're the fun, if you call them cars. Those machines are some of the funniest machines I've ever seen. Jackie likes to call them a foul name. I'll let her say it if she decides to come over here later. But Frederick Leathers says start stop has 2 batteries, and I heard the start stop battery has a short life and may drain your big battery. See, that's another thing. All these things, it's like I forgot what. I think it was Alphas Make Sandwiches, where Jackie was talking about raw milk. And she was talking about how what they did with raw milk is they basically took apart milk and then sold you the parts of it separately, the things that you need. Like those lactate pills, the reason you need them, or like lactate milk, is because they took the good stuff out of milk and then they're giving it back to you as a supplement instead of you getting the natural milk. Well, with the cars, like they're taking all these things and putting all these gadgets in and making things so complicated so that they can sell you different things. Things break down more easily, and in the end, you're just a slave to them. So it's a very good point. I just saw someone put tranny army. That's really funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, Baby or Dave, I didn't realize you put the Picard face palm. Said I kind of like Priuses. No. But yeah, that one I just thought was funny. Let's see. Let's get to some other stuff. There's probably a couple more that are just kind of funny. But let's see. Actually, this is a good segue into health, because those land whales, those blue-haired land whales, they're the same people that are basically saying this statement. Now, I used to be a fan of Joe Rogan when it comes to fighting and stuff like that, mixed martial arts. I still like to listen to him. He's very knowledgeable on that. But I think that he's also controlled opposition, or I guess controlled opposition, controlled, like planted on our side, whatever. But Cheryl Hines, RFK Jr.'s wife, UCF graduate, by the way, go Knights. She was on his show somewhat recently. This is from the 10th, from Maher Action. And I'll let her speak for herself. But here's a post that Maher Action shared talking about RFK Jr. and basically people's takes on him and like how they're treating him and whatnot. But it says Cheryl Hines calls out. So you guys will get the gist of it when I finally put up on the screen. There we go.
And by the way, when people talk about Bobby and they want to paint him as somebody who is trying to hurt people or kill people or whatever that sounds like or looks like, when you look at his career and who he is and what he's accomplished, yeah, he spent a lot of time suing huge corporations because they're polluting waterways, because it's hurting people, killing people, giving people cancer. So why would he spend all of his life fighting for people, fighting for individuals, and then suddenly change and want to really hurt a lot of people? It just doesn't track. It doesn't make sense at all.
Well,
Gotta add myself back to the stage. Yeah, she's spot on, man. And I will transfer that sentiment to President Donald J. Trump and many other people that he's brought in, not necessarily into his administration, because there's plenty of people that I really don't like that are in his administration. But there are certain people, man, like President Trump. When has President Trump ever worked against this country, as opposed to his opponents in this shadow war, who have constantly worked against us, man? You judge people by their work, man, not by their words. Frederick Leathers, Bobby's wife is very loyal to him. She loves him very much. Yeah, she has to, man. She's an actress. She was, for people that don't know, Cheryl Hines was, her biggest role that everyone knows her for is on Curb Your Enthusiasm. She's Larry David's wife on the show. That show ran for, I think, at least a decade. I'll look it up. But this lady is like, she had a career in Hollywood, and she could have easily, not easily, but she could have left Bobby, especially the moment that he decided to join forces with Donald Trump. And she even voiced her she voiced that she wasn't a fan of it. But I think she's one of those people that she was so in that world that all she knew was the bad, the lies, the manipulation. And I guarantee you at some point she knew that Hollywood was corrupt, and that's probably why she's with Bobby, and why you don't see her as like this big Hollywood actress. But still though, man, when you're around it long enough, thank you, Bay Theater Dave. Larry David is a libtard. Exactly. So she was working closely with a libtard for at least a decade, I would say. And she's able to, because of her love for her husband, she stuck through it with him, all the trials and tribulations. She even talks about another time about how she felt about him not being able to get Secret Service. Because I mean, when you marry a Kennedy, I'm pretty sure you know the risk for you and for them, and for your children if you have children together. And then on top of that, to see it in real time, where like they're actively trying to get him injured, get him hurt, get him killed. Like, you don't deny someone Secret Service without a reason, especially somebody that's running for president. So hats off to her. Sorry, I read something funny in that. I'll pull it up, whatever. Medbed said Larry David is a kid eater for sure. I'm laughing because the actual thing is not funny, but just like saying it for sure was what made me laugh, because I'm like, we don't know that for sure. Come on now. But I mean, these people, man, these people are sick. Not all of them are as sick, but these people are sick. In my day, a called out Hines was called mooning. Really? In my day, a called out Hines. Oh, it's a Heine joke. I should have just read the quote part. I thought it said it's a Hines joke. That's a good one. We got a rant that just came in from Smays. Good to see you, brother. I actually read your thing in the chat, so I knew you were here, but good to see you, man. And Smays says, hey, still support you, but news hound first. One of my news on now. Why ain't around mostly? I got you. No worries, brother. Good to see you, and I appreciate it, man. And yeah, guys, if you want to support us through rants, obviously you probably know how to do it if you're on Rumble. I believe YouTube has super chats or something like that. I don't know if there's any way to do it on X, but you can go to badlandsmedia.tv/boosts, and you can either send in a boost for the Flow show, for Flow, and it'll go directly to me, or you can do it for the entire company and it'll get split amongst the hosts, or for any show that you really like. So badlandsmedia.tv/boosts. And thank you again, Smays, for that. And if you guys can't make it to shows, it's okay. Watch the replay if you can. If not, I understand. I love all the content creators on this channel, but I don't always have time to watch them. And I don't always catch up, but there are a lot of good shows on here. So whatever you miss, somebody will either cover it again, or thank you, Jackie, put that up there. badlandsmedia.tv/boosts. I know you can't click it when it's on my screen, but in the chat you can. Keith, actually, I got to read both of these. So, well, first of all, Matt VK said, Clem, sup, Matt VK. Good to see you, brother. Medbed says Bobby's first wife was caught just hanging around. Damn. Yeah. Whew, whew. And then Keith O'Higgins says Secret Service toughest job is keeping Kennedy women safe around big bodies of water and in cars. Damn. The thing is, as much as these things are hard to like the actual concept of it is tough to not grasp because we understand that it happens, but like it is sad when these things happen, you know. But I mean, man, I'm not gonna lose my humor, and I don't think that the actual actions are funny. But once time has passed, I if I don't laugh at stuff, man, I get very depressed. So I understand that people can't handle it or they don't like it, and I do not want you to be uncomfortable or hurt. Well, actually, I want you to be uncomfortable because that's how you grow. But I don't want anyone to have trauma brought up from our jokes and stuff. So I understand. Kevin Collins says volume is too low, cannot hear. I don't think I can change that. Let me make sure my mic's good. I think, yeah, the mic's good. Maybe I'll just get a little bit closer to the mic. But good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. But yeah, we gotta laugh sometimes, guys. And in the end, God's got us. You know, in the end, here we go. In the end, well, all glory to God, yes. And Jesus is king. I mean, in the end, God will win out. So we I almost feel like not only is our job here, thank you, Eleanor. I thought so too. And sometimes yeah, Kevin said thank you for addressing that. It could be the app. Yeah, that happens sometimes. I know for me, it's usually like I gotta just turn my volume up, and I'll try not to play anything that's super loud compared to what I have, but I can't really control that either. But and thank you, Eleanor, Mama Bear. Good to see you. But yeah, that happens to me all the time, especially when like when Ghost plays videos, he'll play videos that are really low, and I have to turn it up. And then when he comes back, it's super loud and I have to turn it back down. But I mean, there's not much we can do on our end. But I always want you guys to point stuff out like that because there are times where I'm muted. There's times usually Jackie's around so she can tell me like, hey, idiot, you're muted. Actually, here's Jackie's post-it note. Oh, you guys can't see that. Let me see if I can block some light. Unmute yourself, dummy. So I have a reminder. I just never look at it. But anyway, but yeah, guys, we got to have a good time while we're here, man. Our job is to glorify God and to do his works. I was going to say, and while we're here, I think we should have a little fun. Never at God's expense, but as long as we're not doing it at God's expense, why not have fun, man? So anyway, next up, speaking of that, Eric Rice, by the way, I think I'm going to make it a thing where if Eric has a post that I like during the week, I'm going to have at least one pulled up because I just absolutely love his connections to the word. And I'm a fan of his work. Let's put it that way. And I'm mostly a fan of his work because he glorifies God in everything that he does. So let me pull this post up. So this is from Eric Rice on February 10th. So that was 4 days ago, around 10:24 a.m. It says, and this post says, is there a way for me to make this bigger? No, I'll just do it without me on the screen. It says, God's timing can be one of the most challenging aspects of our faith journey. We often want things to happen on our own schedule, when we feel ready, when we think the time is right. Yet, throughout Scripture, we are reminded that God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with our expectations. Understanding God's timing is a journey of faith and trust. It requires patience, but it also brings peace when we rest in his perfect plan for our lives. And this is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. And I think that's so well written. He has made everything beautiful in its time. And that means in the time of, well, for my opinion, that means in the time of whatever that action, that thing is, and all those things are only based upon God's timing, not our timing. We can put whatever time we want. We can ascribe time to things, but that's basically us. That's not putting lipstick on a pig. That's putting a pig on lipstick. You got something that's already there, looks nice, and then you're like, let me put a pig with this lipstick. I know that sounds silly, but whatever. That's what first popped in my head. But thank you, Eric, again for that. That was a great post that I saw from you, obviously. Let's see what else we got. I'm gonna get into some Olympic stuff. Let's go with. Oh, here we go. We got a Bear Grylls quote. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but Bear Grylls has a TV show. I forgot what it's called, but it's a show glorifying God, which is really cool. And I think Jackie told me about it, and I was like, I am not surprised that dude is based. Like, what? It's called Miracles. Thank you, Jackie. And I am not surprised that guy is based. Like, since day one, he's always been very interesting to me. I always liked his content, and I learned a lot too about the outdoors. But let me pull this post up. So this is from Trad West on X. Bear Grylls, and in quotes, make no mistake, Jesus Christ was a warrior. People think Jesus was meek and mild, but look at what he actually did. 40 days in the desert with nothing, facing temptation at his weakest, and then walking willingly towards torture. That isn't weakness. That is a warrior. We are made in his, this is not a quote anymore. Actually, no, it's all a quote. We are made in his image, so don't shy away from your battles. Walk through them. Stand tall. Use your strength with humility and kindness, but be a warrior. The world doesn't need timid hearts. It needs lion spirits. And I just thought that was beautiful. That was from February 11th at 9 a.m. But I just thought that was beautiful, and I'll pull up these pictures. And that is Bear Grylls. That looks like it's, I think AFC, that's Air Force, I'm guessing. And then this awesome picture. Yeah, Jesus wasn't just walking around saying, guys, stop. He laid down the law, guys. He laid down the law, literally the law. So shout out to Bear Grylls, and thank you to Trad West for sharing that. I think there's a couple more along the lines of this that I wanted to bring up. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. So this is from Dov Kleiman. And he definitely, it says NFL _ Dov Kleiman on X. And he definitely reports on the NFL, but I know that most of his posts have something to do with the Lord or the Word. And so I've always been fascinated by some of the things that he shares about different athletes. And I honestly care less about the fact that they're famous athletes than the fact that they're just human beings that feel this way. But the fact that they're in a spotlight and so many people are still stuck, and I'm not a fan of it, but if it's going to lead them to the Lord, then I'm cool with whatever, because Romans 8:28, you guys know it. So this is a Texans star defensive end Will Anderson. I think he's only like 2 or 3 years into the league now. But this says, and by the way, if you guys don't know, the Texans team this year, like, not their whole thing is in like a selling point, but their team was like, God was their focus all year. In my opinion, first of all, they had a great defense, a championship quality defense. I think even Kyle Shanahan said that about San Francisco, or the San Francisco coach said that there's 2 of them that he saw out there. And it was the Seahawks, who won it all, and the Texans. But their team, they focused on God this year, and I don't think they had any business winning their division, but they did it. And I think a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, I know it was all because of God, but I think that truly believing does affect your play on the field, because I know for me, the years where I was in the wilderness, if you will, when I was a younger teenager, I won a lot of stuff, but it didn't feel the same as when I had God in my life. And yeah, you just go farther. And then Mocure, I want to say Mocure because it's not Moqueer. I would not say that because there's only one E, but they wrote, the biggest thing that came out of the Q drops was the fact that God wins. Now, I'm guessing you guys are talking about that over there, but in the chat, but absolutely. That's what got me to where I'm at right now, was seeing how much God was mentioned in the Q drops. And I was like, okay. I was like, either these people are grifting hard and they're going to get theirs from God, or this might be something I want to look into. Turns out the latter was the answer. Rocky Top Apologist, he played at Bama. Definitely, I think he was 2 or 3-time All-American, but he was a beast in college, edge rusher, obviously. But I'm going to go ahead and play this video, but it says, powerful. Texans star defensive end Will Anderson Jr. spoke at the San Quentin State Prison to share the word of Jesus Christ with over 150 inmates. 30-plus inmates accepted Jesus into their hearts, and 8 were baptized. A true role model on and off the field. And I would agree with him. For this, he is a role model. And it's funny because it's on and off the field, but he's a role model because on the field, he's still he doesn't put God on the side when he crosses that line. He brings God with him. Oh, God's everywhere, but you know what I mean? Like his focus is still on God even when he's playing. And that's why he's a role model, not because he plays a sport. Who cares about the sport? So let me play this video.
Just to be sitting in this room. God literally takes the least likely and uses him to spread his word. You guys are such an inspiration to me because I battle daily. I'm like, God, are you sure? Like, God, but in his word, God says we are his masterpieces. He said, I have created you in my image. This year, more than any year of my life, man, I tell you, I have grown to know Jesus Christ for who he is, not for what the world says he is, not for what the church says he is, but for what his word says he is. And, you know, all the accolades are fine. The all pros, the Pro Bowls are fine. But I felt so overwhelmed with joy this year because I said, God, let our light shine so bright before others that when others see us, Lord, they glorify your name. And to see how I've impacted, how I've been an inspiration for the kingdom, that's what I'm most proud about. God has truly been at work. What God's been doing back then, he's still doing now. How God is still changing lives back then, he's changing lives now. And to walk in here and to see all the lives that he's changed, all the people that he's touched, it's just been so beautiful to see. So I'm just so humble, man, as a 24-year-old, to be shown on the stage and to be in this room with a bunch of men who gave their lives to Christ. It gives me so much hope and so much inspiration to know that God is still working. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Not only is it beautiful, but man, when he said he was 24, I totally forgot. He's so young. He's 24. Already been humbled by God. Love it. Like I said, he played at Alabama, was a superstar there. In the NFL, he might have been number 2 overall pick or number 3. He was like top, oh no, I think him and CJ Stroud, I think, got drafted the same year. CJ Stroud is also another one. He's the only Ohio State quarterback that, in my personal opinion, that when he left college, he was ready to play in the NFL. And he's the only one that I know of that openly praised God all the time. Still does to this day. That means something, man. That means something. It shows character. So I'm gonna read the more powerful thing from Moqueer, only because this was funny. Thanks, Cam. I've been waiting for a while for somebody to say Moqueer. My wife wouldn't agree. LOL. I think it's hilarious. That's why I said it. I was like, that's not supposed to be a joke, but I'm gonna turn it into a joke. But the reason I put what you said up there earlier, so Moqueer said, I am confident I am confined to a power wheelchair, but I walk with God. And that was so beautifully written and so beautifully said and so beautifully thought, because obviously you thought about it before you wrote it. But that is so true. People that cannot walk this, sorry, I am projecting in a way, but I had a very small amount of time where I couldn't walk when my leg was broken. Nothing compared to anybody that has any type of disability to where they can't walk. But you can walk with God without having the ability of your legs. That's crazy, guys. Think about that for a second. You can walk without having the ability to use your legs, but only with God. He truly is the greatest, man. And then Bay Theater Dave said, deliberate choice to submit to God's will, practice humility, and respond with gentleness, patience, and self-restraint, especially in the face of provocation or injustice. Now, I think that was a second part, but I thought that was so beautifully written and so beautifully said. But yeah, it's a deliberate choice to submit to God's will. And I think it's a choice that everyone should make. That's my personal opinion. I know my life's better because of it. I know everyone that I love that has done that, their life is better because of it. I don't know anybody that's life has gotten worse by submitting to God. But I know a lot of people whose lives have gotten worse refusing to submit to God. Just saying. So let's keep it moving. We should have some more stuff like that. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Where'd it go? Sometimes stuff will load like in the middle of me talking. Oh, this one's great. Pardon me. So real quick, I'm going to play. There's like 3 videos that I have right here that I really liked, and I don't know where they had been. I'll just bring this up first. So this is from today. This is a simple one, but just real quick. So Robert Griffin III on X said, "Put God first and you will never be last." Simple yet beautiful. Put God first and you will never be last. Amen to that, brother. And that's something I had to learn. And I know most of us have already figured that out, but doesn't mean we do it all the time. And whenever you're doing something and it seems like, man, I don't understand why it's not working out. Is God first? Or are you trying to lean on your own understanding? Are you trying to get there your own way? Are you trying to do it on your timing? Because if you are, that's why you're wrong. Here's another post from Eric Rice. I totally forgot about this one. Also, it kind of just disappeared on me. But so Eric from the 12th says, "Faith is not a one-time decision. It's a daily walk. Each day brings its own set of challenges, distractions, and doubts. It often feels impossible to keep trusting in God amidst the pressures of life. Yet, it is in those small, seemingly insignificant choices to trust in God that our faith grows. Each time we choose to rely on God rather than on our own understanding." I didn't remember that part. That's awesome. We are deepening our trust in his faithfulness. It's not about having perfect faith, but about choosing to trust in God's promise, even when we can't see the outcome. I'm reading that one again. It is not about having perfect faith, because none of us are perfect, but about choosing to trust in God's promises, even when we can't see the outcomes. That's because it's on the outcome, because it's on God's time. It's easy to have faith when everything is going well, but true faith is forged in the trials, when we can't see the path ahead. As we lean into God's presence through prayer, his word, and the support of others, our faith becomes more resilient. We learn that God is trustworthy, not because of what he gave us, but because of who he is. And then 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." And I love that one. I know many of you guys love it, but I love that one. And I genuinely think that what Eric's talking about right here, where he says it's easy to have faith when everything is going well, but true faith is forged in trials when we can't see the path ahead. For me, that was when I started waking up. Still waking up, but when I started waking up. When I started waking up in 2020, it got hard, man. Seeing all that stuff in the Q drops, going down the Pizzagate rabbit hole, just learning how deep the darkness really went. There was I've shared with this with you guys before, but I think it was when I had way less people watching. The first time I like truly got through the Pizzagate stuff, and well, the Q drops talking about the Red Shoe Club and all that stuff. Then I did my own digs. I actually went outside and threw up. I threw up. Like I wasn't like, I didn't eat anything bad or whatever. I was just so sickened by humanity that I couldn't hold it in anymore. I've had like 3 or 4 times in my life where that's happened to me, where like I was just so upset that I vomited. And it's always like, it's not in control, but it's one of those things where like I know it's going to happen, so I get to somewhere. It's not like when you're drunk or whatever, but like I was overwhelmed with bad emotion that I just needed to get out. And I think that was one of God's ways of helping me release that, because I don't think I would have been able to hold in whatever I was holding in. Like just that release just gave me a little bit of hope, because I was like, all right, okay. And the big part of it for me was, and I hate to get graphic with you guys, but my first thought went to, if they're trying to poison us and they're doing this stuff to these children and to humans, what am I eating? That terrified me. That terrified the shit out of me. That's why I think eating healthy, eating real food is so important, because we don't know what's in those bioengineered foods. We don't know what they're bioengineering it with. I personally believe that they're using aborted fetus cells. That's my opinion. All my opinion. I have no sauce on that. But these people are sick, man. I would not be surprised. So through all that, we have to walk with we have to walk by faith, not by sight. Because if we just walk by what we see, we're all doomed. There's no end. there is, I'm not literally saying this, guys, don't clip this, literally don't clip this, but if you walk just by sight, you tell yourself there is, where is God? What is God doing? God is not doing this, not doing that. No, that's bullshit. That's your own, that's leaning on your own understanding. You walk by faith, you see the beauty in these dark moments. And the beauty is all of us learning about it, all of us coming together, all of us going through these trials together and being able to come out the other side because God's got our back. Shout out to Forrest Frank for that one. God's got our back. Let's keep it moving, guys, but we're going to keep talking about God because that's the most important thing. Here we go. Here's my boy, David Pollock. Another defensive end. Something about those DNs, man. Those edge rushers, the meanest guys on the field, somehow they're able to do that and then still go home and love their families because they got God on their side. So if anybody doesn't know about David Pollock, All-American at Georgia, one of the best players we've ever had there, went to the Bengals in like the first round, back when the Bengals were terrible, helped start to turn them around a little bit when Chad Ochocinco was there. And then he broke his spine. He was almost paralyzed, never got to play football again. And he just went into like commentating and stuff like that. But he's always had faith, man. And so I'm going to play this little video from him. And it says, oh, hold on. And it says, God doesn't make mistakes. So grateful to be able to speak and share his work. And I will play the video for you guys.
I knew when I was 4 years old that I wanted to play football, right? Like I wasn't made like everybody else because my job isn't the same as everybody else. My mission is not the same as everybody else's mission. So when you do look at yourself and you say, I don't like this, I don't like that, keep in mind, sometimes we have the ability to tell God he made a mistake. I don't think we want to live in that arena, okay? Like, God didn't make a mistake with your hair. God didn't make a mistake with your personality. He made you exactly how you are for the mission that he needs you to accomplish.
Spot on, Mr. Pollock. Spot on. Unmute yourself, dummy. I love that he said that. I love that he said that because that ties back into what I was just talking about on Eric's post. That's sight. That's going by sight, guys. Oh, I had that one for you in a little bit. That's hilarious. The Valentine's Day cards. But yeah, this goes back to this one. If you're walking by sight, then you see that you have like me, I have a weird hairline. And by weird, I just mean like over time it's kind of gotten a little bit slanted, right? I don't care about that. When you guys will see me in public at Garts and stuff, I won't always be wearing a hat. I like to wear hats just because I really love these different types of hats. And I've always been a hat wearer. But I used to be one of those people that was like, man, like I don't have that cool hairline that my other black friends have, or like I'm only 5'9" and 3/4. Like, man, I wish I was 5'10" or I wish I was 5'11. That's not the purpose God had for me. He made me this size for a reason. He made me look like this for a reason. I, over time, have developed into the person I look like right now for a reason. My job is to figure out what that purpose is. And maybe it's so that I don't focus on my appearance and I focus on my work. That could be a huge part of it. So God doesn't make mistakes, just like David Pollock said. And who are we? Who the hell are we to tell him that he made a mistake? Get out of here. Get out of here, people. Come on now. And you know what the other side does? And when I say other side, it's us, God's warriors, versus them, Satan's minions. The ones that don't even know that they're Satan's minions. You know what they do? They constantly not only deny God, but they constantly say that God is wrong. Dumb. I'm bringing this one up because I love these guys. Rise Attire, Adrian and Christina over at Rise Attire. He posted this today. Saint Valentine was killed for his love of Christ. May we love him first, fearlessly. And that badass picture right there. I believe that's supposed to be Saint Valentine, but Pepe Saint Valentine. They need a shirt like that, especially next Valentine's Day. But that's awesome. I love it. Love it. I know this is because of the time period they're in, but that cross still triggers me a little bit. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor. That cross triggers me a little bit because I know a lot of stuff that's been it's been used to represent. But in the end, many things have been bastardized, but the cross goes back to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So this cross right here is the one that I recognize. But either way, love the imagery, and then the heart. I guess it's a kind of like a border. It's a shape, whatever. Anyway, awesome. Love those guys. Let's see what else we got. There's a few more things from the Lord that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, here we go. So Forrest Frank on X. I believe this is him, by the way. He doesn't have one of those check marks, but pretty sure that's him. He said, so Elon Musk said Happy Valentine's Day earlier today. And Forrest Frank responded and said, firstly, celebrate God's love upon your life and family. God is love, for he gave his only begotten son, no other greater sacrifice. And that's what I was talking about earlier. There is no greater sacrifice than what God did for us and what our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ did for us. Nothing that we can do here on this earth is going to amount even close to what he did. So I absolutely love it. It's super important. And that's what I celebrate on these days. I know that not everybody's into holidays, and I get it, because I'm not either. I really don't like holidays. Like, I used to be one of those people that really hated celebrating Christmas, because I was like, you're just it's a pagan religion, or it's a pagan holiday that it's just bastardizing the birth of our Lord and Savior. But as I got older, I realized that, like, I can celebrate him any day I want. And as a group, many of us choose to celebrate him on the 31st, or not the 31st, the 25th. So yeah, why not? Why not? Sorry, guys, my bookmarks are all over the place. Like, I have a few bookmarks, and then it just keeps turning into more and more, and they keep recirculating. So it's taking me a minute to find them. Let me get all the way to the bottom of the page and go up and see if that helps. All right, so we did these. Okay, so let's finish up this little segment on the Lord, and then we'll get back to the Lord at the end as well. And by the way, YouTube, I did not expect to be on here this long, but I'm going to keep you guys on here for another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to switch us over. So while I'm playing the next video, I'm going to go or the next two videos, I'm going to go grab the links, and then I will post them on YouTube and on X. So this one right here is a great video. It's in reference to I didn't even hear about this, but I'll bring it up. So this is from Nancy H on X. She said, Lindsay Snyder, the owner of In-N-Out Burger, recently stated that Lindsay Snyder, the owner of In-N-Out Burger, recently stated that she would not remove the Bible verses from their products. The Bible verses have always been there, and now some people say they are offended by them. Hilarious. You're only offended by them if I'll let this video go ahead. What is the world coming to? If you don't like it, don't go to In-N-Out Burger. I personally love that the Bible verses are there. Yeah, that's a big thing. If you don't like it, shut up and go away. And I don't mean that as in like you have to leave this country, although I mean, I'm not saying you should stay, but just don't go there, man. God gave us free will. But I forgot, these people probably don't believe in God, so it's tough for them. But anyway, I'll let this video play. And then one more video, and then we're cutting YouTube.
Breaking people today. So Lindsay Snyder, the owner, let me tell you, I was mentally breaking people today. So Lindsay Snyder, the owner, keyword owner of In-N-Out, recently came out to say that she refuses to remove the Bible verses from the products. And somehow people are pissed off that they're there in the first place. Take your seats and listen up. Y'all cannot be serious. This woman runs a business so successful that you'll willingly sit in the drive-thru for 45 minutes for a burger wrapped in paper with Bible verses on them that's been there for decades. And now you're offended. It's her company, which means she can put Bible verses on the cups, the napkins, the toilet paper to wipe your ass, the parking lot if she wants to. And guess what? You don't get a vote at all. If you don't like it, and this is going to shock you, don't eat there. That's it. That's the solution. There shouldn't be a press conference or crying on the internet. None of it. No how dare she blogs written from an iPhone made by a corporation that doesn't give a single shit about you. You act like she came to your house, kicked in your door, and baptized your double-double. She didn't. The printed verses are on the cup that you can throw away after you inhale the fries. Those screaming about this still eat at places owned by companies with actual scandals and lawsuits. But this is the hill we're going to die on, huh? Most people who are foaming at the mouth don't even know God. And that's exactly why they're pressed. Because when the truth shows up and it agitates you like that, the devil gets real fucking loud when he's uncomfortable. This whole idea that if something exists that you don't personally agree with must be removed for your comfort, man, that's not how freedom works. That's not how business works. And it damn sure isn't how America works. Y'all need to chill the fuck out because it's exhausting as hell. This has been served to you animal style.
Just a heads up, or I guess not a heads up, a heads down. I don't really do language warnings on my show. Beware that I will drop stuff whenever. I don't want to offend anybody, but kind of like that guy said, like, nah, go somewhere else. But I love you guys, and I will not be cursing at you guys unless it's in jest and we're doing it together. But yeah, he was spot on, man. Like when I'll give you one language warning. When the Lord comes out, when the Lord's around, when the Lord is out there and people really see him, the devil gets really fucking mad. And it's funny to me. I love pissing him off. That's kind of that's indirectly my job. And it's indirectly my job because the things that God wants to have happen piss off the devil, Satan. And yeah, I'm here to piss him off. That's literally why I was brought here. And then this last video, and YouTube, people on YouTube, I just posted the links to Flow on X and Flow on Rumble. So head on over there after this video. But this one is about 2 minutes long, and it says, if only the music, it's from Dr. C on X. It says OG_Dr. C. And it says, if only the music industry knew how to make masterpieces such as this. And I don't say this super often, but I genuinely hate the guy who sings this original song. I'm not even going to bring it up just in case you guys know who it is. Dead Perry Jordan. I love the F word. Me too, man. Me too. Or ma'am. Me too, ma'am. Me too. Because it just has so much flavor behind it, you know? But I do not like, I strongly dislike, probably hate the person who originally performed this song. But if you notice the song, you guys can say it in the chat, whatever. I really don't feel like speaking his name or his the name he goes by. But this gentleman right here, Romans 8:28, man. Romans 8:28. He took and the song itself is a very nice song, the original, but I just don't like the guy. But he made it better, man. He made it better. So without any further ado, I'll let it play. And then after YouTube, this is basically your outro. So head on over to Rumble or X, and I'll probably go another about 10-15 minutes because I want to make sure I get through all the outros and stuff and end with Jackie's outro because I haven't played it for the last few weeks. Hold on. Polaris Park says, at 5'10", I have a 34-inch inseam. I thought I had it rough buying pants. I'm not totally sure what you're talking about. But I get, so Bay Theater Dave says, I have a 34-inch inseam, short legs and arms. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just saw that and I thought it was funny because I think inseams are hilarious. I'm kind of childish like that. But anyway, YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Head on over to Rumble or X or Pilled. And I will see you guys. I'll play this video, but as soon as it's done, I'm going to cut you guys out. But I will see you guys next week. And happy Valentine's Day. But for everyone else, stick around. We're not done with the show. So let's keep it moving. All right. Enjoy.
You know that song that goes like, my head's underwater, but what if it was a worship song? What would I do without your kind heart, seeking me out from the very start? Can't help thinking I'd be sinking if we were apart. What was going on in my broken mind? Did I ignore you for the enemy's lies? You had my head spinning, but you jumped in and said I'd be alright. I'd be underwater with no breath inside. said you were mine. So all of me loves all of you. I'll praise your name up to the heavens. All your infinite perfection. You gave your all for me. So I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. So even when I lose, I'm winning. You give me all of you. So I'll give you all of me. Oh.
Yeah. That's a million times better because it's glorifying the Lord. Oh man, when I heard that the other day, I was just like, whew. All right, YouTube, love you guys. I sent some stuff in the chat. I said this was intended for you guys. You knew on YouTube, but I said thank y'all for flowing with me tonight. See y'all on the other platforms. Happy Valentine's Day. Love y'all, and God wins. So, all right, YouTube, thank you so much. I don't know why it's 1649. I guess I just got a random number, but that's my YouTube. So if anybody wants to, I don't really post anything on YouTube, but if you want to check it out, go on over. But all right, cutting out in 5, 4, 3, 2.